What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back for another retro review. This is the I was gonna say the Real Housewives. Lord, this is a different world, season 3, episode 21. So we start this episode off. We see um Kim down at the pit. They're in a staff meeting, and the meeting is over. And she tells Mr. Gaines, "Listen, I know that the rule of thumb around here is that we can't be switching up um shifts and stuff like that." She said, "But I've agreed to cover so and so, so and so, so and so, and so and so shift." And Mr. Gaines was like, "Yeah, no, that's not gonna work." He said, "You are doing way too much around here already. You burning the candle at both ends. You doing more than even what you normally do," which we know Kim has always been an overachiever and doing too much. He said, it's not safe, and I don't. You're doing too much. You're working too hard, and I'm not going to let you do it." He said, "I need you focused. I need you studying, and I need you to make sure that you stay, you stay on track." And she was like, "Well, Mr. Gaines, I really could use the hours." He was like, "I get it. I understand." He said, "But no, you can't do it." And then we see where later on that night, and Walter is there, and he's like, "Where you coming from?" And we find out that she's keeping a part-time job at the morgue at night. So what we're seeing in this episode is we're seeing the ramifications of some of Kim's of what happened with Kim's dad, which we saw earlier in the season when her dad got shot, and he's still in rehab. He's not working. He's on disability, and the consequences of her not taking that scholarship. And she didn't tell her parents she didn't take the scholarship because she was like, "How am I going to tell my parents? I know you don't have the money. I know you can't really afford the tuition. And I turned down the scholarship because they support a part-time." She said, "I just got to figure it out and make it work." And so Walter was like, "Well, I understand that." He was like, "But we got to figure something out." He said, "Maybe," he's joking. He was like, "Well, maybe I can get you a football scholarship and we'll just hide you on the bench. And, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that." He's like, "Well, maybe we can have a fundraiser." And she was like, "No, I'm not going to be nobody's charity. I don't want nobody to know what's going on. Don't say anything. I will figure it out." And he is like, "But you really need to let people help you. Like, people love you, Kim, and we want to help. Nobody wants to see you not come back to school." And she was like, "Walter, stay out my business. I appreciate it, but no." Now, the other story I told y'all was always a little sub story going on. The sub story, we got Ron and Dwayne down to the basketball court playing basketball, right? And, they doing what they do, child. They think they on their way to the NBA, honey. And so this talent scout rolls up on them, and he was like, "Listen, if y'all, I've been watching y'all, and y'all are, y'all got some good stuff going on here. Y'all got a good some talent. Why don't y'all, I got this commercial if you're interested." Now, Dwayne was like, "Yeah, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't getting in that. No, ma'am." Ron, of course, is here for it. Ron is like, "Absolutely. Where do I sign?" And so later on, we see that Dwayne is struggling to come up with the money to pay the bills. The phone gets cut off and all kinds of stuff. Ron comes in, and Dwayne was like, "Fine, we could go ahead and do this commercial." And Ron was like, "I done already called him. The contracts are on their way over." Okay, so they get down there for this commercial, and they find out that they done got set up. Basically, they are filming this commercial, and they thinking that they're gonna be the stars of the commercial, and that they getting ready to be dunking on people and all that other stuff. And come to find out that they're the flunkies of the commercial. That it's 2 NBA legends that are gonna be in the commercial with them, and basically they are there to get dunked on. And it's like for some sort of energy drink, and like the line is like, basically, "You don't want to look like these 2 guys, so you better drink your energy drink," And so Walter is down there, and Walter is laughing. He is like, "Y'all know, that y'all are the butt of this joke, right? Like y'all are not the star of this commercial. Y'all are the butt of the commercial." And of course, they are appalled by the whole thing, and they end up leaving and all of that. I was like, I'd have went on and done the commercial. Shoot, y'all needed the money. Gone. They got the footage. You might as well go on and finish the commercial out. Now back over to Hillman, Walter then went and told Freddie and Whitley, because of course he can't hold on to this, which he shouldn't. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody loves Kim, and we want, it's coming from a good place. So they're trying to come up with all the different things they can do to try to help Kim out. Freddie talking about some, she could sing down to the train station. Y'all know Freddie crazy, but Whitley's coming up with different ideas of things that they can do, and we see the next day, Whitley comes home with a dress. She tries to hide it in the closet, and she tells Kim, you can go to the dance. I guess a guy had asked her to this dance that was like a formal dance, and she needed a dress, but she didn't have a dress. And Whitley tries to pretend like that she had the dress in her closet the whole time, and tries to let Kim know that you could go on there. But Kim found the price tag, so she knew that Whitley was lying about the dress being old. And then Freddie comes in with a bike because Kim had sold her scooter, and of course she lied and said she was tired of riding the scooter, but she really sold it because she needed the money. And so she comes in with a bike, and she gonna tell her that somebody gave the bike away, and that she bought it from the thrift store for like $15, but it's like a brand new 10-speed bike that Whitley had bought, and they had come up with this elaborate lie, right? And so basically Kim figures out what's going on. She gets upset. She's yelling at all of them. She's like, listen, this is exactly why I didn't want to tell anybody, because I don't want to become anybody's charity case. Like, I'm not anybody's charity. She gets upset. She ends up going down. Oh, the other thing was Mr. Gaines was putting extra money in the tip jar. He kept putting $5 bills in the tip jar. So, of course, Kim was collecting more tips than she normally was. Like, everybody was doing something little to try to help. I think even other people were putting money in the tip jar. The tip jar was a lot fuller than it normally was. And so, of course, Kim is upset because she was like, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Like, I am nobody's charity case, and I didn't want to be a charity, and you've turned me into that. Like, now the whole campus knows what's going on, and I'm embarrassed. So she ends up going to work down to the pit, and she tells Mr. Gaines, you can stop putting money in the tip jar. I know what's going on. Mr. Gaines is like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, but I tell you what, I do know. He said, you're not going to drop out of school. You're not going to quit. What you are going to do is you're going to be the recipient of the first, basically, Mr. Gaines, it was him and his wife, their name, scholarship. And Kim was like, I'm not. She was like, you've already done way too much for me already. I can't take your money. And he was like, see, that's part of your problem right there. You're too stubborn. He said, what you don't realize is that people love you and they want to help you. And you're too stubborn. You're going to end up cutting your nose off to spite your face. At the end of the day, you ain't here to flip burgers. You're here to become a doctor. And if I can do anything, if me and Velma can do anything to help make that happen, then that's what we're going to do. So you're going to take the scholarship money and he said, matter of fact, it's not even charity. It's a loan. And what is going to be payable, I think he said something about 6 months after you start working, after you finish medical school and start working. And I think he said something about like $50 a month or something crazy. But basically letting her know, okay, it's not charity. You're going to pay it back, but you'll pay it back at a reasonable amount. I really wish that my student loans was set up like that, but that's another conversation for a whole nother day. And, lets her know, like, listen, sometimes it's okay to take help. Everything ain't a charity. So she ends up accepting the money. She says, well, I guess you told me. He was like, yeah, I did. And she ends up understanding what he's saying, and she agrees to take the money, and she's just like, thank you, Mr. Gaines. And so, it's funny because I remembered Kim giving the scholarship back, and I remember her struggling, but I didn't remember the fact that she did end up taking the scholarship from Mr. Gaines. I really forgot about that part. But anyway, excuse me, but anyway, that's what it was. You guys let me know how you feel about it, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.